What's up, friends? Justin Meccia here at Whitefish Handcrafted Spirits, and you know what? We're gonna do a little time traveling. Yeah, we're gonna go back in time to the 40s, right? And specifically 1944, and we're gonna check out a cocktail that a gentleman named Victor Bergeron, or better known as Trader Vic, invented at his bar in 1944 called the Mai Tai. Yes, the Mai Tai is a classic rum drink, quite possibly my favorite rum drink. It's a tropical, fruit-forward, oftentimes very fruit-forward drink. Super easy to drink. It's got a nice blend of sweet and tart, so it's not overly extreme in either one of those categories, making it a drink that you can enjoy several times. Now, what's interesting about the Mai Tai, which is very much like nearly every, especially fruit-forward classic cocktail, it's seen many versions, it's seen many variations. Even Whitefish Handcrafted Spirits, we have our own spin on the Mai Tai. And that's okay, that's fine, because you know what, that's the point of making a drink. That's what you get to do when you make a drink. You get to make your version of it and then serve somebody else. It's such a cool thing. So yes, Whitefish Handcrafted Spirits, we're proud of our Montana Mai Tai. However, I thought it'd be kind of cool to go back in time and check out the very first original Mai Tai by Trader Vic. So I looked up the recipe and I was shocked because the Mai Tai that I was trained to involved using two rums, right? A light rum and a dark rum. The original recipe calls for an aged rum, and that's it. Okay, and then there's actually 4 other ingredients that I'll walk you through. And then we're gonna create a version as close to the original that we can with what we make at Whitefish Handcrafted Spirits. So let's start with the aged rum. So by the way, I'm gonna build everything and pour it into this nice, sexy rocks glass from my friends over at Bozeman Spirits because they're super cool people and they make wonderful product. If you happen to be on that side of the Continental Divide, Bozeman Spirits is your choice. However, if you're on my side of the Continental Divide, Whitefish Handcrafted, baby, all day long. Okay, and I'm gonna be building everything in my jigger here. I've got 1 1/4, and I also have 2-ounce pour options. We'll talk about that, okay? All of this stuff you can find at a grocery store or a restaurant supply store. And of course, all of the product that I'm gonna be talking about, you can buy right here in my tasting room. All right, so the original recipe calls for aged rum, so I figure a good substitute would be the Whitefish Handcrafted Spirits rum with spices. Why? Well, more than likely Trader Vic was using aged rum because he loved the characteristic that the aging gave the rum. Now, the other cool little thing I'm gonna share with you first, friends, is, watch this. We also have an aged version of this. We're working on it. It's just not on the shelf yet, so I'm sorry that I just teased you. We are working on that. We are finessing our final approach to it, and then yes, we'll be eventually offering an aged version of our #1 selling spirit, which is super cool, very exciting. So at that point, we might actually have a very close to OG Mai Tai. All right, so I'm gonna use our rum and spice, and I'm gonna give it a 1 1/4 ounce pour. I'm gonna build everything in my tumbler, shake it just a little bit, and then pour it in my rocks glass. 1 1/4. Voila. That's ingredient number 1. Ingredient number 2, lime juice. Now we make our own concentrated lime juice, so I'm going to be a little shy on the 2 ounces, and I'm gonna make up for the difference with simple syrup. Why? Well, because otherwise I'm gonna have probably an overly tart drink. So I have likely here about 1 1/2, and then I'm gonna give myself right at a 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. You can actually make your own simple syrup. We're in the process of making simple syrups and making them available to you, and we'll have flavored simple syrups as well. It's kind of exciting. And then the final 2 ingredients that the original recipe called for are orgeat and orange curacao. Okay, orgeat is an almond liqueur. Great substitute for that would be our Woods Rose Amaretto. Yes. So I'm gonna give myself an ounce of the Woods Rose Amaretto, which in my 1.25 jigger, just pour it just shy of the top. And then equal portion, our Flathead Sunrise Tangerine Liqueur. Okay, so that's pretty darn close to orange curacao. In fact, I'm gonna say it surpasses orange curacao. Orange curacao is garbage in my opinion. I think our Flathead Sunrise tangerine liqueur is miles ahead of that, okay? So here you are. Those 5 premium ingredients. Give myself a scoop of ice. Give it a good stir. Voila. Now, you could garnish this with a lime. You could garnish it with an orange if you wanted to, because those are elements that are in here. However, the OG recipe calls for none of that business, okay? So that's what's kind of fun about the time traveling of the Mai Tai, is you can literally see all of the variations over the decades and over the areas that decided to put their own little spin on it. Whoa. Whoa. That's delightful. That is delightful. What is refreshing about that is the lime juice doesn't get carried away by pineapple, which a lot of people like to add pineapple to their Mai Tais. It doesn't get carried away by coconut. A lot of people like to add coconut to their Mai Tais. This actually allows the nut that I'm grabbing from the amaretto to work with the lime juice, and then the citrus in our rum with spices is kind of right there up front. So you get the citrus, lime, almond blend. Gosh, that's delightful. There you have it. The OG Mai Tai Whitefish version. We'll see you soon. Cheers.